Hey guys, it's Hannah. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a pretty sensitive subject. I feel like this hasn't gotten enough media attention at all, and when I first heard this, I cried because we'll get there. So the birth of this child happened on December 29th of 2018, which was this last year, and up until the birth, doctors really didn't notice. I mean, they noticed things, but they didn't attribute them to her being pregnant. So, for instance, she had weight gain. They noticed, I believe, how many? It was upwards of 70, I think it was 72 written down statements, 72 times that these staff had found that something was amiss, something was wrong. Being her stomach was larger than usual, her feet were swollen, something along the lines like pregnancy symptoms, but they never thought that she was pregnant because she's in a vegetative state. She's not having sexual intercourse, right? How would this be happening? This isn't possible. So I get why it's not on their radar, but I mean, unfortunately it should have been, I guess, because she was pregnant, and they did not treat this accurately. The doctor that was examining her basically gave her medicine for bloating, and for gas, and for weight loss. Like, seriously? That just makes me so mad that medical professionals were like seeing this woman, and they never in 9 months realized that she was pregnant. So she actually had an ultrasound scheduled for the next day because her stomach issues, the size of her stomach was becoming so concerning. They thought that she had a mass in her stomach, which was a baby. They had an ultrasound scheduled for the next day, which the day after she gave birth. So it was a little too late. But yeah, I will insert the 911 call, which again makes me very angry, of when this was all occurring. So there's that.
Okay. What's the emergency?
Someone just had a baby. One of our patients just had a baby, and we had no idea she was pregnant.
Okay. Is the baby
We were not
out?
prepared for that. Baby's turning blue. We need someone now.
Okay. All right. Go in there with the baby, and I want you to walk this through. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to be on the line with you. What's your phone number?
Shoot. I don't know what the phone number is for this. Give me 1 second. I'll find it for you. We have a respiratory over there with them too. The phone number is.
Okay. And the mom is doing okay?
We're not sure. We had no idea this patient was pregnant.
Okay. And the
This is the
respiratory
patient.
is doing.
We have respiratory here, and
okay.
we have
Are they
nurses
doing
here.
compressions? Or
God,
what's going on right now?
Were we able to get the baby out? Is the baby breathing? Is the baby breathing? Baby's not breathing. Baby is blue.
Okay. So are they doing CPR?
Are they doing yeah, they're doing CPR on the baby.
Okay. Good. Just keep going with that. And how's the mom doing?
Mom's doing well. It looks like she's doing well.
How far along
Did
is
you get a
she?
set of vitals? We had no idea this person was pregnant. We had no idea this patient was pregnant.
Okay, I understand. Does she know how far along she was or anything?
We have no idea. This is a complete surprise. We were not expecting this.
Okay, and the baby
Is the baby doing
responsive
better?
or no?
Is the baby responsive? No, baby's not responsive.
Okay, and they're still doing compressions, right?
They're still trying to do compressions, and they're suctioning the baby.
Okay, good. You guys are doing a great job. We got help on the way, okay?
Alrighty.
When I first listened to this, I was so mad. I just hate, oh my gosh, so many things. First of all, if you work anywhere, you should probably be in your office. You should probably like know your phone number, right? You should know, like, you should easily be able to access your phone number. I realize that this situation doesn't happen often, but you are a medical professional and you have to deal with it. And stop saying, like, I wasn't ready, like, oh my god, we weren't ready, like, we don't know how to deal with this. Like, if somebody was having a fucking heart attack in my, like, place of employment, would I be like, oh my god, I've never seen anyone have a heart attack, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Or would I call 911? Like, and just like deal with it. Like, and the part that made me like the most sad was thinking that this woman, well, got raped. That's horrible. She was raped. She couldn't tell anyone. And then she was pregnant, and she probably knew that she was pregnant because there are a few types of vegetative states, and in the one that she was in, she was aware of certain things. She liked music. She could make facial like movements, which is just sick to me that this guy could do this. But anyways, but she was aware, and she went into labor and gave birth to a baby on her own with nobody there, none of her family there, and no medication, no help.
At a Phoenix nursing home, sources say a woman who has been in a vegetative state for at least a decade gave birth at the facility last week. Police checking this one out. Here's Brianna Whitney.
A baby boy born Saturday, alive and healthy, but with his mother being in a years-long vegetative state and raped while staying in the Hacienda healthcare facility. A source tells us employees didn't know she was pregnant until labor started. And Dr. Greg Marchand says that is uncharted territory.
I can't even imagine how horrible it must be to be a victim of abuse like that. This was an extremely dangerous situation with no monitoring.
Marchand is a Valley OBGYN and says though a baby can fully develop inside a woman who is in a vegetative state, having no prenatal care is alarming.
There wasn't any prenatal screening done or prenatal labs, so we weren't able to see if she was suffering from gestational diabetes or HELLP syndrome.
He says the main difference between this victim and a healthy woman giving birth is this victim could not use her body to push out the baby and likely had a long labor because of it. And with no prenatal care, it's a miracle there weren't severe complications.
Could have been an active labor for hours or even days. This easily could have resulted in a fetal death.
But a source close to the case tells us facility employees heard her moaning, and that's when they knew something was wrong. And Dr. Marchand says even though she couldn't communicate, she likely was able to feel.
Could she still feel pain during labor?
Yes, she can certainly detect pain.
So she likely felt what was going on?
There's no doubt she was able to feel pain, but how much consciousness there was to really, take the suffering from that is what I don't know.
I just keep like imagining how she must have felt. Like she must have just been laying there, unable to move, unable to say anything, unable to do anything at all, except just be in excruciating pain. And her body's just like contracting, doing its thing, and she can't do anything. And like a nurse heard her moans, and that's how they found that she literally had a baby that had already basically come all the way out. So obviously this facility was shut down. It's gone, thank God. If it wasn't, I'd be very concerned. I guess this just brings awareness to the fact that your family members may not be treated correctly when they are in the care of people you think should be treating them correctly. This woman had been in their care for years, and they had signed an ISP, which is an individualized service plan that specified that the people from the facility had signed, from the state had signed, and her parents had signed, that said, that promised that only female workers would be taking care of her. And later they would find out that the man that was raping her was not the only man taking care of her. And the facility just wanted to keep this on the DL, I guess, that they had male employees taking care of her. They didn't think it was that big of a deal, even though this is literally like a legally binding contract. Like, I don't know what these people were on. Like,
no words tonight to describe the horror of what happened to that young woman at the very center of the Hacienda healthcare scandal.
New court filings detail allegations of conduct so outrageous, so egregious that similar cases have resulted in judgments in excess of $1 billion. Faye Fredericks with the devastating new details tonight. Faye?
Yeah. Katie, Steve, before we get into the truly horrific details in here, remember this is a young woman who is described as brain damaged and blind and a quadriplegic, but she is aware of music, of familiar voices. She feels pain. And while we are respecting her privacy and not using her name, she is much more than just the patient in all this. She is truly a survivor. For 26 years, this is the only home she's known. A place that promised to care for her. A place her parents trusted. A place of unspeakable atrocities, according to the family's attorney. John Michaels filing this notice of claim against the state for what he calls their non-existent oversight of Hacienda Healthcare.
Phoenix 911.
Oh, the baby's turning blue! Baby's turning blue!
16 years before the 911 call that revealed the shocking rape and birth of a child to the woman, the court filings reveal her parents were promised female-only staff and caretakers would attend to their daughter. It was required in her treatment plan. It would be violated repeatedly. Former nurse Nathan Sutherland was assigned to provide unassisted and unsupervised care beginning in 2012. Medical records referenced in the court documents detail old injuries resulting from her being violently and repeatedly raped. Yet her own doctor, Thang Nguyen, who purportedly saw her 10 times in her last trimester when her abdomen was distended and she'd missed multiple menstrual periods, never ordered a blood test that would have shown she was pregnant. Instead, Dr. Nguyen's typed reports from December show the words "no new issues, no changes, and no new concerns recorded." The notice of claim details her parents' guilt, now knowing what their daughter went through here, how they struggle with the belief they failed her, and nothing can undo the damage. Tonight, the family is offering to settle their claims for $45 million, noting other cases, at least somewhat similar to this, have resulted in verdicts of more than $1 billion.
Beyond upsetting story. Yeah. Faye, thank you.
Basically, this woman, this survivor, gave birth to a healthy baby boy with no medication, being all alone, as I've said, all on her own, and no prenatal care. Just being tube fed the amount of calories that someone who's not pregnant would be fed. So it's a miracle that she had a healthy baby boy. And I know it's really sad because half of that baby boy is her rapist. She does have a little boy. If the baby would have not made it, this would have just been like no good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to find any bright side I can here, and there's not really any. So the next question was, who the fuck is the father? Because this woman has been laying in this bed for 20 years. So who done it, you know? So they did some DNA testing after they, you know, everything, the mother was fine, the baby was all right. They did some DNA testing and found this motherfucker, Nathan Sutherland. What an ugly piece of shit, am I right? So I'm not gonna ever say his name again in my whole life, hopefully. So they arrested him. He's like in jail. I hope he never sees the light of day again. Yeah, what a piece of shit. So the family obviously went to court over this because this is such a huge moral injustice. So obviously, how do you fix it? Money. So they settled for $45 million, which in my opinion is nothing. But hey, money. But hey, I guess Bora Bora might hit different if it's paid for by a lawsuit. The thing that just made me like all fired up again, that like made me as mad as I was almost, as when I found out about this in the first place, was that an update came out, and I don't know how exactly they proved this other than like interviews and other than other staff members basically coming forward and ratting out the health, like the nursing home. This man had been with her multiple times, and they're just inferring that he had sexually assaulted her multiple times for years. So he had had so many opportunities to be alone with this woman and sexually assault this woman. That is sick. It's sickening. And the fact that they violated the ISP so many times is fucking illegal. And just, like, I don't know, like, what if that was their family member? I bet they wouldn't have done that, but I just don't know. So that's pretty much it to this story as of now. This clinic has been shut down. Otherwise, I would be, like, linking a petition to have it shut down, but it's been shut down. Thank goodness. So So just be careful where you put your loved ones, I guess. And I just couldn't stop thinking about this, so I thought I would, ruin someone else's day. You're welcome. Alright, well, thanks for joining me in my TED Talk. So I feel better now that I talked about that and expressed my anger and hatred for this man. So, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching.